You know, before I start, this is what I'm going to do. I want everyone to pull out their phone. Everyone to pull out their phone, go to your notes app, and I want you to do something for me. I want you to write down three people that you do it for. I want you to think about and write down three names, just three names. Three people that give you a purpose. Three people that help you fulfill, because I know you're in real estate, but I also know that you're not just in transactions. I understand you're about transformation. I understand that you're about relationships. If I just be honest, I think oftentimes people look at me and they say, well, you're a motivation speaker, you're always motivated and you're encouraged to wake up and you like to get after it, and that's not true. I need an alarm, but you know why I'm able to wake up every morning filled with purpose and with joy in my heart? It's because of my family. My family, I'm a father. I believe that's mine. My two most important titles, husband and father. So this is my wife, and this is my baby girl, Lenora, and that's my little man, Benny. Lenora's so sweet, right? Anytime I come home, she doesn't know my name is Dad. So she calls me Dr. Gangs. She calls me Push. The other day, I was talking to her. She said, hey, Dr. Gangs. I said, yes, baby girl. She said, I am so proud of you. She said, I am so proud of you. I had to fight back the tears. I said, well, why are you proud of me? I like to have conversations with her. I said, why are you proud of me? And she said, I'm so proud of you because you're a great speaker. She said, can you give me a speech? And then she literally picked up her tablet, put me on the spot, started recording. And as I was looking at her tablet and looking at my baby girl, I said, you're smart, you're kind, you can do anything in this world. And I thought about her need for me to inspire and motivate and encourage her. But then I thought about that question she asked me every single day. Dad, can you come with me to do affirmations? That's why I get up in the morning. It's not because of the cool opportunities I have to speak locally or nationally. It's not because of the people that I get to impact, but it's really because of my family, my why. I don't care about the dream. I don't care about material things. My why is so much bigger than the material things. My why is so much bigger than the dream, and my why is what drives me. So every morning there's names that I'm saying every single morning on repeat. Emily, Honora, and Benny. Emily, Honora, and Benny. And that's what drives me to inspire and encourage as many people as I can, because I know I'm not doing it just for myself, I'm doing it for my family. So as I speak to you for these next few minutes, I want you to think about those names. As you get ready to close some deals, I'm speaking it into existence. As you close some deals today, I want you to think about those names. Because it's not just for you, it's for the generations that are coming after you. It's not just for you, it's for those people that you wrote down in your notes. Think about those names. We can go to the next slide. 30 Days on Purpose. I'm working on this journal. I've been working on this journal since 2017. I actually completed it early 2018. A lot of people, they ask me, why has it taken so long to release this journal? This journal was created at such a dark and painful time for me. Pain is the one thing we all have in common, right? We've all had some hard days. We've all had some obstacles, right? Is that right? By show of hands? Right? We've all faced some adversity. 2017, I get a call from my father's doctor. He says, John, I want to tell you this, but we need you to get to the hospital. I get to the hospital, walk to my father's hospital room. The doctor comes out before I get into his room, and he says, John, your dad has stage 4 lung cancer. He has 3 to 6 months to live. One of the hardest days of my life. This was such a critical time in my life. It was the time I was working on my dissertation for my doctorate. I was working on a children's book. I was working with a national agency for the first time in my life, speaking across the country. I was also planning the wedding. And now you're telling me I'm going to have to plan a memorial for my father as well. But I knew I couldn't let my future wife down. I couldn't let my father down. There were still things I had to do. I literally remember before speaking engagements, I would be in a corner, like in the green room before they'd invite me up, and tears would be rolling down my face because there was so much pain. But I didn't want the pain to overcome and overtake me. I wanted to learn that the pain had a purpose. I wanted to use that pain for my purpose. I wanted to use that pain to motivate me. I wanted to use that pain to encourage others, because pain is the one thing that we all have in common. I didn't want to quit because it wasn't just about me. I buried my father 3 days before my wedding, 2017. But as I reflected on that time in my life, there's one thing that I remember. Every single morning I wake up about 5 a.m. and take notes. I write down what I was grateful for. I'll write down at least 3 goals that I wanted to accomplish during the day, 3 action steps that I was going to take during the day, and then I will reflect on some type of quote or something inspirational. Because here is what I understood. I couldn't focus on tomorrow. Like, don't miss that. I could not focus on tomorrow, because literally all we have is today, right? So during that time in my life, it was such a dark time. I was feeling so much pain. I was feeling overwhelmed. And I used to just think to myself when I wake up, if I could just get through today. And how did I get through each day? I would take notes. I write down what I was grateful for. I write down those goals. I write down some action steps. And then I'll focus on a quote. One of the quotes I came across that's in my journal is a quote by Muhammad Ali. He said, "What you're thinking is what you are becoming." What you are thinking is what you are becoming. So for me, it was hard to focus on the 5-year plan. It was hard for me to focus on that 10-year plan. It was hard for me to focus on the vision in the future. I just needed to think positive thoughts, like right when I woke up, because I knew that my thoughts would control the rest of my day. And this is how I came up with this idea, 30 days on purpose. If I could just do something for 1 day, I knew that I can do it for 2 days. If I can do it for 2 days, I knew that I can do it for 3 days. So it was very simple for me. People ask me, how'd you complete the doctorate? How'd you write the children's book? How'd you plan a wedding? How'd you plan a memorial? I did it one moment at a time. One grateful moment at a time. Start every day with a great thought. That's where this whole idea, start every day with a great thought. You can go to the next slide, please. Start every day with a great thought. This is where this idea was birthed. Because I believe our thoughts, those great thoughts, what we think about on a daily basis, become great actions. Those great thoughts become great actions, and those great actions, what we begin to walk out, those great actions become great habits, and those great habits are what lead to our great purpose. But it starts with a great thought, right? Those great thoughts, great actions, those great habits are what lead to the great strategy to own all of South Tacoma Way. It didn't just start with us saying we want to invest in South Tacoma Way. It started with a great thought a long time ago. Greatness isn't complicated. Achieving goals isn't complicated. Achieving your dream isn't complicated. But you know what's complicated? What I'm finding with the more and more people I interact with? What's complicated? It's hard for people to find gratefulness in moments. And I believe greatness comes from gratefulness. So I want to encourage each and every one of you today. What I do throughout this journal, I hope every reader understands that it's so important. The most important thing you can do as you chase your goals and chase your dreams is to decide to start every day with a grateful thought. Like, what are you grateful for? Who are you doing it for? Begin to ask yourself those difficult questions, and I promise you, the obstacle will never get in the way. The pain, you will start smiling in the midst of adversity, because you know it's only going to make you stronger for the future. I'm not perfect, I'm not unique, but I am grateful. I'm not perfect, I'm not unique, but I do have a why, and my why is what gives me the energy to keep going and to keep pushing. I love Tacoma with all my heart. I was born in Tacoma. Early 1990s, Tacoma, the Hilltop had some of the highest drug and crime rates in America. I was born on the Hilltop. My mother used crack cocaine. I was born with drugs in my system. So as we talk about adversity, as we talk about pain, when I was 7 years old, I found my mother dead. I felt like my life was shattered. I felt like my life was over. But get this, I had one person that believed in me. And it was significant for that person to believe in me, but what was more significant in that moment, I'll never forget, when that person believed in me, I began to believe in myself. And what I want each of you to understand and get success, even, I know all of you understand that real estate is not complicated, but it literally has to start with a great thought. Today I'm going to believe in myself, right? Today I'm going to go out and conquer my fears. With my baby girl, today I'm going to be smart. Today I'm going to be kind. Today I'm going to be beautiful. And beauty has nothing to do with how you look externally, but beauty has everything to do with how you look internally. So decide, despite what you're facing right now. As I talked to Isaac, I said, is there anything specific you want me to touch on? He said, just uplift the team. So let me encourage you. Despite what you're facing right now, what you're thinking, you're becoming. Whether negative or positive. Right? Our dreams and our thoughts, they happen twice. Once our thoughts happen in our mind, and then our thoughts become a reality. A couple months ago, the doctor said, John, you're having some issues with your liver. I could have folded. I could have cried to my wife. But I decided to get focused. And since I got that news from my doctor, I've lost 19 pounds. Why? Looking back January 1st, it wasn't January 1st, I decided in my mind, I just want to wake up with a great thought. Today I'm going to make great decisions regarding my health. The same belief system I have is not overcomplicated. I learned it from some of the greatest leaders that ever lived. And just as I believe in it, I believe in each and every one of you. Just as that person believed in me, I believe in each and every one of you. But the thing that changed and was so significant that day was the belief that I had in myself. The belief that I developed in myself. 30 days on purpose. Moving forward, I don't want you to look too much into the future. I'm not telling you, like, don't create your vision. I just hosted a vision night with 100 businesses. I believe in vision more than the next person, just as much as the next person. But what I want you to do is take it one day at a time. And those days will soon add up. One great thought at a time. And you soon will get to your championship. Right? Because the championship is not something in the material. The championship is not in the transaction. The championship is right here. You can go to the next slide. As I close, I think about my father. And as I talked a little bit about pain, I talked a little bit about adversity. And I always share that story with my father, but what people don't know is that my father wasn't in my life growing up. My father abandoned me at the age of 7. When I was 21, I remember crying my eyes out in my dorm room, so I called my father. Because I knew as I elevated, there were some things I needed to let go of, right? I knew as I elevated, as I achieved my success in the worldly terms, I knew there were some things I needed to let go of. So I called my father. I said, Dad, I love you. I forgive you. I didn't care what he said on the other line, but I knew it was important for me to let go of what was holding me back. And so as I prepare to close, this is what I want each of you to do. If there's any grudges you're holding on to, if there's any animosity that people have towards you, if there's someone you need to forgive, I want to encourage you. Don't go another day without forgiving that person. Don't go another day with holding on to that grudge. Because Nelson Mandela said it like this: holding on to unforgiveness is like drinking poison and hoping the next person is going to die. Drinking poison and hoping the next person is going to die. Holding on to unforgiveness isn't bad for that other person, but it's bad for you. And I knew I wanted to be a success for my future family and for my community. And I knew that when I forgave, I began to walk in freedom. I knew that when I forgave, there would no longer be those things holding me back, and it would be that much easier to walk in my purpose, because it's that much easier to walk in your purpose when you're walking in the freedom of forgiveness. So maybe it's not forgiveness, but maybe it's something you need to let go of. So as you go out and close these deals and chase your dreams and beautify the wonderful 253, don't do it out of hate. Don't even worry about your haters. Don't even worry about the doubters, but decide to let go of and go be free. Go chase your dreams. That's what I mean by great thoughts, by positive thoughts. Because no one else controls your future. No one else controls this moment but you and your own thoughts in your own mind. So keep pushing. We go to the next slide. So keep pushing. I believe in you. And I hope you come back. But that's all my social media. That's where I'll have more information on the journal. It was such a joy and pleasure to be with you today, to encourage you. I hope you picked up on a couple of things that you can take, some tangible things that you can take with you into the future, into today. But if you slept during that last 15 minutes, here's a recap. Start every day with a great thought. Don't hold on to pain. Use that pain as purpose. And decide to forgive. Decide to let go. Keep pushing. Thank you so much.